is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll have those stories in a few minutes. First tonight, there is continued unrest in Minneapolis tonight, several days after an African-American man died while in police custody.
The video of this arrest sparked federal and state investigations, as well as protests across the country demanding action. This is a live picture from Minneapolis, Minnesota right now as protests continue for a third consecutive night. Another building has been set on fire. This is all in response to the death of George Floyd, who died Sunday night. Some protests have been peaceful, others have been violent, leading to looting and arson. The 4 officers involved have been fired from the department, but today, during a press conference, the FBI and top Minnesota attorneys say they're not able to announce developments in their investigations at this time, meaning no one has been charged yet.
I can tell you, I can tell the community, I can tell everybody interested that it is critical, it is essential, it is imperative that the investigation is done right and done right the first time, and that is what we are going to do.
McDonald asked for the community to remain calm and have peaceful protest. Earlier tonight, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz activated the National Guard in response to the violence. The protests aren't just happening in Minnesota. They have extended to New York, California, Ohio, and Chicago tonight. The NYPD says at least 5 people, 1 woman and 4 men, have been arrested for civil disobedience.
Today, our local law enforcement agencies were part of a town hall meeting hosted by Madison 365 to respond to what happened in Minneapolis with George Floyd. They said what happened there was unacceptable and went over what their own use of force policies are. But a black Dane County mother joined the call and said the policies clearly aren't working and that something else needs to be done.
Sounds like more of the same. They protect themselves around the practices and policies that they have in place, and that is not going to continue to work in our society. It doesn't look like the policies and the procedures that you put in place 50 years ago.
Well, there were many questions they didn't have time to answer. Madison 365 said it'll email the questions to all the chiefs and post their responses online later. The Madison School District sent a letter to all parents today combating racism and condemning what happened in Minneapolis, offering a path forward. The letter reads in part, quote, as an institution committed to actively disrupting racism, we know that the fight against racism, oppression, and hate cannot fall by default on our community members of color. We must lead it together. I want you to know that the district, including principals and staff, are working to support those who are impacted by leading conversations and lessons around the recent incidents.
Let's go to weather now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti with our first WARN forecast.
Oh, we had gray skies today and rain for much of the day. Let's take a look at the time lapse this evening from the WIC Skycam looking toward the southwest. You can see the last of the showers moving on through, but after that, the skies started to clear a little bit as we headed towards sunset. You can see a little bit of sunshine sneaking in underneath the clouds, and several people reported seeing rainbows. But as we look at the 48-hour precipitation over the last couple of days, you can see how that rain has accumulated. Many areas, especially west and north of Madison, have picked up somewhere between about 1 inch and 2 inches of rain. Some areas even a little bit locally heavier than that. But the rain is winding down. You can see on Doppler track most of that over southeastern Wisconsin, moving away from Madison. So as we look at high temperatures today, they were in the lower 70s before the rain started. They've dropped into the lower 60s. By tomorrow morning, they'll be in the lower 50s because dew point temperatures that are around 60 now are dropping into the lower 50s to our west. So for tomorrow, look for partly sunny skies, a cooler and less humid day, also a little breezy with a high of 67. Later on, I'll take a look at a forecast that includes a cool weekend, but a warm next week.
Gary, thank you. Homeowners in Milton are hoping the Army Corps of Engineers can help them solve a severe flooding issue before it destroys their homes.
Rock County reporter Adam Duxter has the latest on the efforts moving forward. Adam?
Yeah, Eric and Charlotte, the homeowners I spoke with today say not even the flooding that was once called once in 100 years was quite this bad. Now they're hopeful for a solution after dealing with more than 1.5 years of flooding.
I guess you can see that the berm we've built up here, this has been, as I said, our second berm.
Bob Schrank says growing up on Clear Lake was always something he cherished.
I've been on this property basically 63 years. My grandparents actually had a swimming beach here, so anybody in the Milton area for sure, and even Janesville area, were very familiar with Silver Poplar Beach.
But lately, the lake has been much more of a cause for concern.
It runs basically nonstop.
And a source of relaxation.
You come walking down here and it sounds like somebody's opened a faucet full bore.
2 years ago, the shoreline began to disappear before it swallowed up the Shanks garage. Now it's closing further in on their home.
We just kind of go day to day and see what happens. You know, days like today where it's raining are definitely a more concern than other days.
State leaders are asking the Army Corps of Engineers if they can come up with a solution for this disappearing shoreline.
The town government obviously doesn't have the money to deal with this. It's much bigger than what they can afford to deal with, and so I'm hoping by bringing all of the different government bodies together, maybe they can have some cost-sharing solution that could help everybody out.
Schrank is hopeful a solution can come.
Previously, we didn't have any standing water down here.
Before it's too late.
What does go through your mind?
If today's going to be the day, you know, if it's going to be so much rain that we just can't take it anymore.
The Army Corps of Engineers says they'll now spend the next few days gathering the information and looking it over that they've gathered this week before making a decision on what to do next. Now, Schrank, whose son and grandson live right next door, says he's hopeful his family can enjoy this lake for generations to come.
2-hour coronavirus headlines right now. There are 630 new cases of coronavirus that have been reported across the state today, including 11 new deaths. That brings the total number of cases to more than 17,000, with more than 550 deaths. Of the total cases, the Department of Health Services say about 61% of patients have fully recovered. The percentage of new cases dropped about 1% compared to yesterday. Of the tests conducted over the last 24 hours, 2.8 came back positive. Dane County, Joe Parisi, the executive there, is calling on state leaders to come up with a new plan to come together and confront the virus that continues to spread in Wisconsin. He says in the 2 weeks since the state Supreme Court struck down the Safer at Home order, cases have risen by more than 6,000 and deaths are up 28%.
Right now, there's no backup plan. We have guidelines in place in Dane County, and we're doing our very best to protect the residents of Dane County, but this virus knows no boundaries, and we're concerned about the folks in Dane County as well as folks across the state. So we really need...
Parisi says in just 2 months, more state residents have died from COVID-19 than car crashes in all of last year.
The 2020 Wisconsin State Fair is officially canceled. The State Fair board chairman made the decision for the safety of fairgoers, staff, vendors, entertainers, and the broader community. The fair draws more than 1 million people over the course of 11 days. For those who've already purchased their tickets, they will be valid for the 2021 State Fair. Refunds are also available through June 30th. Concert tickets purchased with credit cards will be automatically refunded. City of Beloit announcing some cancellations of summer activities today. According to a press release, the Independence Day concert and fireworks show has been canceled. The city's Beloit Dirty Dash and all other non-aquatic summer programming is also canceled. The city adds the opening of Krieger Park Pool. That's been delayed as they review the 2020 season. The Boston Marathon has also now been canceled. It was first postponed, but Boston's mayor today said it just will not be feasible this year with the pandemic. That race typically draws more than 30,000 runners from all over the world, of course. The marathon has only been fully canceled or postponed once before. That was back in 1918 when a military relay race was held. That was during World War I.
President Trump is extending federal funding for National Guard deployments until mid-August to help states in their coronavirus response efforts. That funding was previously set to expire on June 24th. The extension means the money to fund the Guard will come from the federal government while allowing those forces to remain under the control of state governors. There are currently some 46,000 National Guard members supporting the state's response efforts. Yesterday, the coronavirus U.S. death toll hit 100,000. As hundreds of thousands of Americans mourn those they've lost, there's a new push to make mask wearing mandatory. Naomi Ruckham reports from New York City, the epicenter of the nation's outbreak.
On the floor of the House of Representatives, Speaker Nancy Pelosi called for a moment of silence.
In remembrance of over 100,000 Americans who have passed away from the COVID-19 virus.
It took less than 4 months for COVID-19 to take more American lives than the Vietnam and Korean wars combined, and experts believe the real number is likely higher.
I cannot believe that this is what we are going through.
In Pennsylvania, State Representative Brian Sims took to Facebook Live to rail against Republican House leaders for allegedly concealing that a Republican lawmaker had tested positive.
How dare you? How dare you put our lives at risk? How dare you put our families at risk?
And the Speaker for the Illinois General Assembly has called on everyone who attended last weekend's special session to get tested or quarantined for 2 weeks. An employee at the arena where they met tested positive for the virus. Now, new research published in the journal Science warns 6 feet between individuals might not be enough, and that aerosol particles can accumulate and remain infectious in indoor air for hours. Increasing the flow of outdoor air and ensuring proper ventilation systems are some of the new CDC guidelines for offices that may be reopening. The CDC also wants employers to require workers to wear face coverings and prohibit touching of any kind. Today, New York's governor promised to sign an executive order authorizing businesses to deny entry to anyone not wearing a mask or face covering.
That store owner has a right to protect themselves. That store owner has a right to protect the other patrons in that store.
Today, the U.S. Department of Transportation announced it will distribute over 15 million cloth masks to America's transportation workforce, including people who work on subways, trains, and at airports. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
President Trump has signed an executive order targeting social media companies a day after Twitter marked 2 of his tweets as potentially misleading. During the signing event in the Oval Office, the president says the move is to protect the First Amendment.
We're here today to defend free speech from one of the gravest dangers it has faced in American history, frankly. And you know what's going on as well as anybody. It's not good. A small handful of powerful social media monopolies controls a vast portion of all public and private communications in the United States. And
the order aims to reduce the powers of large social media platforms by reinterpreting a 1996 law that protects websites and tech companies from lawsuits. Still to come tonight, we'll tell you about a New York City order allowing local restaurants and bars an opportunity to serve more customers.
Plus, a special graduation delivery of sorts for dozens of 8th graders. We'll have that story when we come back.
Save at Wild Easttown Honda on over 400 new Hondas with 0% financing for up to 72 months. Save with 0% financing on your favorite new Hondas at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
While there's no instruction manual for what we're all going through now, there is Christian and Natalie and all our other associates at Pick and Save, working with one of the country's biggest supply chains for the Kroger family of brands. Keeping our promise that our shelves will be continually stocked and that you'll always have access to the things you need. Because together, we've got you covered. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Medical bills. Missed time at work. Life-changing injuries, household expenses. When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. But we've dedicated our personal injury law firm to help take this crippling burden off your back. Habish, and Rotier. We fight for what's right.
Slumberland's huge memorial sale is almost over. Don't miss out on hundreds of incredible markdowns, like a power recliner for just $396, a Sealy Queen mattress marked way down to $598, our best-selling Adirondack chairs for just $188, our lowest price ever. If you've been waiting for our very best deals, this is it. And get free no-contact shipping with no minimum. But it all ends Sunday the 31st, so don't miss it. The memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture.
U.S. Cellular.
Yeah.
New customer?
What's the deal?
Unlimited data, just $30 a month.
But what's the deal with the signal?
It works everywhere.
It's crazy.
Sure, you're going into signal shock. Just breathe with me. Unlimited data, strong signal.
Strong signal.
All for $30 a month.
U.S. Cellular.
And now when you switch, you can also get $700 off the latest phones with no trade-in required. Now that's fair. U.S. Cellular. Choose fair.
Right now at Wild Easttown Honda, sign and drive a new all-wheel drive CR-V for $299. That's $299 with 0 down, 0 first payment, and zero to its start at Wild East Town Honda in Madison.
Hi, folks. Friday morning, Hattie has her eye on cooler and drier weather in the weekend forecast.
And parents, if you're wondering if your kids should be wearing masks, well, we have answers from local doctors.
We'll see you starting at 4:30 Friday morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The city of Madison is introducing a new program that'll temporarily expand outdoor seating at some restaurants. The emergency order from Mayor Satya Rose Conway would allow customers to dine on the sidewalk, in the parking lot, or even in the street. The application period for businesses is now open. Fees will be waived. This temporary program is set to expire October 25th, or the date that public health allows normal activities to continue, whichever comes first. A local self-serve wine bar in Verona is giving credit to the community, helping them stay open through the pandemic.
Verona as a community is just like so amazing, and they've stuck with us, and I think that just knowing that this was going to be really hard for small businesses, they really showed up.
Toot and Kate's Wine Bar just reopened to the public on Tuesday on limited hours. They have been closed since mid-March, but had been offering carry-out and curbside pickup deals twice a week to stay afloat.
Our Lady Queen of Peace School is giving its 8th grade graduates some special attention. The school's principal and several teachers made 45 stops beginning early this morning to deliver diplomas to QP students stuck at home. Newly graduated Henry Gill says while he knew the parade of cars was coming, he did not expect the display to be so big.
It was really fun. They all honked their horns. It was just a great experience.
Gill's parents say they're not only proud of their young graduate, but the entire Queen of Peace 2020 class as well.
Oh, it'd be so nice to see all those folks be able to get outdoors and enjoy the weather. But what's going to happen in the days ahead here, Gary? It's pretty soggy out there today.
Yeah, the next couple of days, though, are going to be very nice. Just a little on the cool side. The last of the rain now pushing east of Madison. A couple showers trying to pop up in the Madison area, but to the north and west, the atmosphere is really cleared out and dried out. Skies are even clearing as well. Rainfall over the last just 48 hours, generally north and west of Madison, this blue area, about 1 to 2 inches, some locally heavier spots, and then you get into parts of Iowa and into central Wisconsin, some 2 to 4 inch amounts generally in those areas. That's actually good news for central Wisconsin. They've been so dry that the fire danger has been high, but for the most part, the rain was very welcome in many areas. Now, it'll still be cool through the next couple of days. High temperatures will be in the 60s for tomorrow all the way through Sunday, but the next chance of rain looks like it'll hold off until Monday. And that's actually on a warm front, behind which temperatures climb into the 80s beginning on Tuesday and lasting for much of next week into the following weekend, when temperatures in some areas could approach 90 degrees. High temperatures today, generally in the 70s. Here in Madison, we hit 73 before the rain came in. Areas of northwestern Wisconsin actually cleared out earlier, so they had the rain early in the day, and then the sun came out and they actually warmed up a little bit. But there's cooler air to the north and west. Notice Fargo, North Dakota, only at 69 degrees. That's that second shot of cool air that'll be dropping southward. You can see the little dip in the jet stream here. So as this rain moves to the east, large area of clearing starts coming in, and we'll see plenty of sunshine over the next few days. But again, that northwesterly wind flow will keep temperatures on the cool side, and there's that second cold front I was talking about. As we take a look at current temperatures, they're now pretty much in the 60s to around 70 degrees east of the first cold front. Second cold front, you can see those temperatures dropping into the upper 40s already in northern Minnesota, generally 50s up there. But more importantly, those dew point temperatures still around 60 in Madison, but by the time you get to La Crosse, it's around 50 in the Twin Cities in the mid-40s. They are noticeably drier to the north and west, and so that will filter in here on future tracking. You can see those northwesterly winds clearing out the skies. We'll see partly sunny skies for tomorrow. Tomorrow night will clear out again. Temperatures will drop into the upper 40s. Saturday will be partly sunny, high temperatures in the upper 60s. Weather system will stay to our south and west over the weekend, and on Sunday, look for those northwesterly winds to continue with high temperatures in the upper 60s. But by Monday, notice those winds just out to the west by late Sunday already becoming southerly. That's what'll start fueling the warm-up. That'll bring our temperatures back up above normal by Tuesday, and then staying near 80 on Thursday, and that's just depending on how much sunshine we get. But otherwise, temperatures will generally be in the 80s. I've got an 86 for a high on Sunday. Some of the computer models are now indicating Madison could be close to 90 degrees at that point. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook calls for high chances of above normal temperatures through much of the central and eastern part of the country. with near or below normal precipitation expected over that time. So summer looks like it'll be here for a while starting next week. 67 though for a high tomorrow. Won't be here tomorrow. Partly sunny skies and a brisk northwesterly winds, 10 to 20 miles per hour. 7 to 10 day forecast. Temperatures cool for the weekend. Monday, the transition day with some showers and thunderstorms as a warm front comes through, and then temperatures generally at or above 80 for most of next week and into the following weekend as well.
Need a little drying out here, so hopefully even if it's cooler,
3 days, I think they'll be just fine there.
Sounds good, Gary. Thank you. Just ahead in sports, the Holtz brothers back home, and they plan to give back. How they're paying it forward. Zaxton next with sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's a 25-cent fuel saver this Friday and Saturday. Only at Hy-Vee.
Engines are restarting, park is shifting to drive. So we're offering 0% financing for 72 months and no payments for 120 days. Plus the freedom to shop and buy online. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram will help you drive forward.
Or now during the Jeep Memorial Day sales event with employee pricing, get $5,611 below MSRP on the purchase of a 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.
Yeah, I'm a professional remodeler, and I go to Nuns. Why? Well, my clients love them because they have all those snazzy-looking countertops. You know, like beautiful marble countertops, stunning quartz slabs, you name it. To be honest, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, who needs all that glitz and glamour from a counter? But my clients love those snazzy-looking countertops, so we go to Nuns.
Nuns, kitchen, bath, and flooring.
Rogan's Shoes retail stores are now open. When you visit Rogan's, we'll be practicing good social distancing for the protection of all customers and employees. If you would like to limit contact and have curbside pickup, just call your local store to set it up. If you prefer to shop online, Rogan's Shoes would like to remind you our website is open and we are still offering free shipping. Rogan's wants to help by providing you the best solution possible for your family. Selection, service, and savings. That's Rogan's.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I solemnly swear that I will support the veterans of the
United States Armed Forces.
I will defend the Constitution
against all enemies.
that I will commit to ensuring they are
not forgotten. And I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
and I will enable veterans to live the same life of opportunity.
They have provided me.
So help me God.
When America needed us to build, we built. Masks, ventilators, shields. When frontliners needed support, Ford dealers answered. And now we're open and ready to serve you. With exciting special offers and deals across the Ford lineup. Stop by a Ford dealership or go online. We've made it safer to shop, easier to buy. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 84 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2019 Ford vehicles.
Earn a 25-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50 you spend. That's a 25-cent fuel saver this Friday and Saturday. Only at Hy-Vee.
Stoughton natives Mitch and Cole Holtz played hockey together with the Madison Capitals. They went their separate ways in college, and currently they're both playing professionally. But the brothers have teamed up again to give back to their hometown.
Low for Byro, out in front. Here's Holtz. Holtz fires. He scores!
Hockey
Cole Holtz rips it over the shoulder.
has been good to Mitch and Cole Holtz.
I think if you would have told us that, 5 years ago, I would have probably called you crazy.
Crazy to think that both brothers would be playing professionally.
Now you just kind of look back and you just, you got to appreciate, everything that everybody's done for you. And, there's a reason you got there. And,
So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool for both of us to actually do it.
Now the two
Fires a shot, he scores!
plan to pay it forward.
We want to help grow this into a hockey hotbed and really thrive as a city and a state in hockey.
Teaming up to put on hockey camps in their hometown.
We've always ended up going out of state, or you had to travel for these camps, and I think to have one right here in Madison would be extremely beneficial.
I was the older one, had no idea about anything, agents, advisors, junior leagues, and just seeing how Cole was able to handle it and see the difference. I think it sped up his progression.
And helped him reach the NHL.
Back to Holtz. Holtz walking, he fires and scores!
Which is why both Mitch and Cole,
I think will show him a lot just because we came from Stoughton, Madison area, and they see it from our point of view because we've been through it, and it's kind of surreal to be able to go through that and then pass it down to these kids that are from the small towns around here as well.
want to give back to the sport that's given them so much. Now, Cole and Mitch say they plan this summer is to spread the word, and then next summer is when they start their camp. We'll be right back.
Crazy Lenny's e-bikes, the largest selection of all.
And that's not all.
You could take test rides.
And that's not all.
And if you don't love it, you have 4 weeks to exchange it.
And that's not all.
And prices start at only $9.80 for a new e-bike at Crazy Lenny's.
Crazy Lenny's e-bikes, Madison.
When America needed us to build, we built. Masks, ventilators, shields. When frontliners needed support, Ford dealers answered. And now we're open and ready to serve you. With exciting special offers and deals across the Ford lineup. Stop by a Ford dealership or go online. We've made it safer to shop, easier to buy. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 84 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2019 Ford vehicles.
I'm bad. You're stronger than you know. So strong. You power through chronic migraine. 15 or more headache or migraine days a month. One tough mother. You're bad enough for Botox. Botox has been preventing headaches and migraines before they even start for almost 10 years and is the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. Botox is for adults with chronic migraine. 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Go on with your bad self. You may pay as little as $0 for Botox. Ask your doctor about Botox for chronic migraine. You got this.
Whether it's protecting your lawn or your pets, Fleet Farm has what you need. This week, save online and in stores on things like Frontline Plus, flea and tick control. On sale starting at $34.99. Cashews, 1-pound bags are $5.99. Diamond Crystal Bright and Soft Pellets, 40-pound bags are $4.59. And Mix or Match annual flowers and vegetables, 48-count flats are $19.99. No matter the job, we've got you covered. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
Engines are restarting, park is shifting to drive. So we're offering 0% financing for 72 months and no payments for 120 days. Plus the freedom to shop and buy online. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram will help you drive forward.
Or now during the Jeep Memorial Day sales event with employee pricing at $5,611 below MSRP on the purchase of a 2020 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited.
Crazy Lenny's e-bikes, the largest selection of all.
And that's not all.
You could take test rides.
And that's not all.
And if you don't love it, you have 4 weeks to exchange it.
And that's not all.
And prices start at only $9.80 for a new e-bike at Crazy Lenny's.
Crazy Lenny's e-bikes, Madison.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Shopco Optical.
We're following breaking news. More buildings have been set on fire in Minneapolis tonight. You are looking at a live picture from Minneapolis where protesters and rioters are out for a 3rd consecutive night. This is all in response to the death of George Floyd, who died Sunday night while in police custody. Be sure to stay with News 3 Now and channel3000.com for all of the latest developments.
Finally tonight, the Dane County Humane Society is hosting its first online summer camp. Camp Paw Print Summer Break 2.0 is open for enrollment Fun for children ages 7 to 12. The camp has 3 different themes to choose from, many opportunities to interact with fellow campers, presenters, animals, and education staff.
Families said that they just want their children to have fun and to interact with other campers, and also create this really great space of like-minded children having this really great passion for animals and caring and learning about them.
So that camp will run from June 15th to August 28th, providing options to match any schedule, and you can find information to sign up at giveshelter.org. Let's go to Gary. Final check of the forecast. Gary?
Well, it looks like the rain is winding down basically from Madison eastward right now, but west of Madison, the rain has ended. Temperatures are in the upper 50s, lower 60s. Dew point still around 60, but notice they drop off to the north and west. That's the dry area that'll be working in. So tomorrow, high temperatures upper 60s with partly sunny skies. And then for the weekend, look for highs in the upper 60s. Notice those lows in the 40s. But as we head into next week, 73 on Monday with a warm front coming through with some thunderstorms. And then we jump up into the 80s from most of next week. Next week, there could be areas, or next weekend, there could be areas pushing 90 with more humidity for the following weekend.
All right, a little cool, but then summer-like weather returns. Gary, thank you. And thanks for joining us tonight for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, be well, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
A couple of days ago, we got an email from the Local Voices Network, the impactful nonprofit convening inclusive conversations with underheard community voices on shared concerns. WISC is a partner in that work. I'd like to read part of the email to you. When we started hosting virtual conversations amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, we weren't sure how they would go, but we knew they were necessary. The stories that have emerged have been powerful, insightful, and inspiring. Where we weren't sure technology would facilitate connection, many have found it to be a lifeline, staging off alienation and loneliness. And now, as many states announce their plans to reopen and rebuild, we have a unique opportunity to listen to a diversity of perspectives, to address gaps in information, resources, and access. Thanks to Local Voices Network, we're hearing those voices. It's hard to imagine more important work right now.